Hello guys, today I'll show you how to create this realistic, good looking wooden slat panel. It could be used for wall or ceiling or many other uses. I will show you when and how to use it, some examples in the architecture and in your CG images and animations as well. How to add this variety between the colors. I will model this from scratch in 3ds Max. You can use on other softwares as well. Then I will unwrap it in Substance Painter and then I'll apply it here in Unity. Let's do this. So firstly, what is this panel? It could be wall like this one. You can use it for exterior cladding. You can use it like this for the whole panel, for the whole wall. It's really stylish. It's contemporary look. It can be used for sun shading, like this one. Gives a super cool shadows and atmosphere inside. Could be used as a division wall. Could be used for the interior as well, like this. It's really stylish for the whole wall, including hidden door, or just partially as an accent part of a furniture. Could be used for accessories like this plunging. It looks really cool, brings warmth into the room. Again, as a division into the interior or part of the staircase, or could be used for a furniture. Here, just the imagination is the limit. If you think further on, you can use this for the ceiling as well, to hide your installation behind it, like in this example here, in this dining room or restaurant. You can think about it in three-dimensional, turning around the corner, or of course can be used as a curved element, as you can see in these examples as well, or in this example over here in the swimming pool. Looks really cool. Okay, let's jump into the 3D software and to show you how to create some of these from scratch. First, I'm going to create my geometry real fast and easy. I'll create a box. I have some shortcuts made. You can see them on the bottom left corner. I'm going to copy it. And I'll select all of these. And using the Soulborn script object attacher, I'm going to attach them. I have created a shortcut for it, and I'm going to convert it into editable body. For this script, you can check out our video Soulborn scripts for 3ds Max Soulborn. These are free scripts and how to turn this script into a shortcut. Now I have my geometry. If I press 7, you can see these polygons. If you'd like to keep it low poly as much as possible, so my advice is to keep it just rectangle boxes like this. But if you have a closer camera, you can add some more detail. My suggestion is to use a chamfer here from the modify panel. Press chamfer. You can select this one 3, and you can lower this amount maybe to this one over here, so you always have in the reality some kind of chamfer. There is nothing straight edge, and this brings a bit of realistic look, more realistic look to your geometry. Of course, if you can go here and you can select only the sides of the geometry, and then you can jump over here. So now in this case you have these slats as if they're cut in a fabric. I would like to keep it like this, and just I will add one edit poly above like this. Okay, I have my geometry ready to use. Now I have a bit more polygons, but you can export it and test it further on low poly, or you can add detail to make it a bit higher poly. Depends on the size of your wall. The next step is to export this. I will select it and then export it, file, export selected, and export it as FBX. Just press OK for the standard settings here. Okay, let's jump now into Substance Painter to texture this. In Substance Painter, File, New, select your geometry, Open. I will use 2K for the resolution. For the normal map format, Unity is working, it's compatible with both. I prefer OpenGL because it's easier for me to use this logic. This is the annoying sound. If you want to turn it off, please check our video how to turn it off. What is the difference between OpenGL and DirectX is where the light is coming from. For the OpenGL comes from top right corner like this, meaning that the bump is looks like this and the holes are looking this way, and the DirectX is bottom right. It doesn't matter, you can use both. I'll prefer to choose OpenGL. Then untick this and untick the import cameras, auto unwrap. I'll click it, and here under option I will press, let me move this here, I'll press recompute all. Okay. Here under search on the left corner, I will type wood and use this default wood, but if you'd like to use a better one or a new one, you can go to the substance3d.adobe website and you can download to import it. You can check our video on how to import substance material into substance player, substar formats, how to adjust them, how to export them. We have a full Substance 3D playlist on our YouTube channel, so you can check it. Link for the description you will see below this video. So I'll just continue with this default one. I'll change the color to something lighter so you can see these trains better. Here on the projection, I will choose triplanar projection, and below 3D projection settings, for the rotation, I will rotate it in 90. Now you can see this follows the long side. I will squeeze it here a bit. Okay, I'm not just going into super perfect look over here, so I can save some time, and I would like to show the main idea behind it. Okay, we can import it of course this way into Unity, but the major problem that we see is that the texture is tiling, meaning that every single slat has this dark place everywhere at the same place. If you check it from here as well, it's repeating like this, especially if you have a material that is having more contrast between light and dark, you're going to see this problem. How can we fix this? Firstly, the biggest problem is that we have only one piece of geometry imported in Substance. How can we split this? How to separate this into few pieces? go back to 3ds Max. I'll convert this to editable poly. Then I need to split this into different materials. This is the quick trick. I'm just going to create here multi-sub material. I'll show you why. I would need, let's say maybe 3. I'll show you only with 3 will be enough. I'll copy this and copy this, then just for better understanding, then I'll make this green and this one, okay, I'll keep it gray. I will assign this material and then I'll go to the geometry. Okay, here what I'm trying to do is to assign one of these materials, all of these materials, to different slats, meaning I would like this to be this and that to be 1, then let's say this and this to be 2. Now I have them cut. If you see here, 1, 2 and 3 are spread into the different faces. I can fix them if I select all of them and just set 1. All of them should be green. Great. Okay, then making them into different pieces. You can make them, of course, by hand, which is time consuming. You can use the Soborn selection randomizer. How to use it you can check in our video about the Soborn scripts, link in the description. It's selection randomizer. But another clever and super fast way is to use material by element modifier, like this. You can go to random distribution, press 3 because the count of my materials is 3. And here below you can just play with the seeds. Let's say I like it like this. You can of course use the list frequency and then decide what percentage should each color be, 80 or more if you need to increase this one. But I'll just take the random distribution. A quick tip over here, if you want to make some fine tunings, if you have 2 slats with the same color next to each other, you're going to still have the repeating the tiling. So either you can adjust it by hand, making it, you can put edit poly and then adjust this by hand, or you can increase the count of the materials, which I'm going to do because it's faster. Add another one, copy, copy, like this. Okay, and here just increase the number. Okay, now it's more or less good. Great. Then go and export this as FBX again and import it in the same way in Substance. Here back in Substance, how to keep this color. If you like it, just go to the color, copy this number over here, create a new one. This is my new geometry. Okay, repeat this as before. I'll discard the geometry that is one, and as we can see here, we have the geometry split into pieces. Now we can texture it without repeating. And as you can see, if you would like to distinguish between which material is which one, the name of the multi-sub material from 3ds Max is coming into material over here, meaning that if I change this to, let's say, just numbers 1 to whatever 3, export this again, okay, okay, here import it again, now you can see everything it's described properly. If you need to use it in case for another geometry for some other cases. Now I'll drag the same material, and here where the color is, I can paste this number. Voila, I have the same color as before. I use this material as a basis. I'll copy it, paste it to the next group of slats like this, and just make it a bit darker so I can distinguish between two slats. Go to the third group, paste it again over here, make it a bit, let's say, lighter, and in this way I'm going to texture everything and create a bit of variety between the slats so it looks like in real life. Something like this. Depends on your taste, depends on your needs. The other thing that you need to do, of course, is to move this also, so we can break this repeating textures like this. You can also rotate it and play around with the mapping. It takes time to texture it properly, but this is the principle that could be used. Okay, now we have everything textured, unwrapped. Just we need to export it, file, export mesh. Okay, I will export it as FBX. Okay, and then textures. I would like to point over here that these textures and this geometry, they need to go together. If you take these textures and the geometry from 3ds Max, they're not going to use together. They're not going to match to each other. They're not going to work together. Export textures. This voice, if you want to kill it, watch our video about it. Here for the textures, I will go super fast, but if you would like to see all of the settings and adjustments step by step, you can check our video, Amazing Realistic Materials in Substance for Unity URP, link in the description below. Here I'll take the JPEG format, output template. I have created my own diffuse, normal, and height, and here is the list where I can check what is going to be exported. I'll select this is the geometry, all 5 of them, and size I'll choose again 2K. Export. Okay, great. Ultimately, Unity. These are some cool stuffs that we've been showing lately. You can check our videos. Here are my textures exported and the geometry, drag and drop all of them. Great, drag and drop the wooden wall, rotate it in order to be wall. Of course, as shown in the beginning, you can use it as a ceiling as well. Just use your imagination. And now we need to create materials for all of these different geometries. Right click, create material, name it 1, drag and drop the textures. I'll drag the height map to the mask. Normal, if you see this sample broken, it's because of the normal map. Select all the normal maps and here choose normal, apply. Okay, now this sample is fixed. And now we need to find which material to which geometry it's related. This one is this one. How can I check it? Here, number 1, it's this one. That's why generally I would like to name, starting from 3ds Max, all of the things properly, that they make sense here, so when I transfer them to Substance to be named properly. And finally, when I create the textures, so they have reasonable names in Unity as well. How to do it, as I mentioned, you can find out in this video, link in the description below. In this way you can continue with creating materials and applying to the geometry. Super fast way is to copy paste this material, rename it, and then replace the textures. Easy peasy. Okay guys, we have it, our wooden slat wall, modeled from scratch in 3ds Max with details for the edges, unwrapped in Substance Painter, and then imported in Unity, ready to use, with variety for the colors. Could be used for interior, exterior, sun shading, accent, division walls, floor wall, or a ceiling. Just let your imagination fly. If you enjoyed anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does. If you haven't subscribed yet, click below and join us. We have some great videos coming up that you don't want to miss. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.